please confirm that you can hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you're doing well and having a great day so far.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's okay. Thanks. How about yourself? Good day?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for making yourself available for this meeting. I really appreciate it. So, just before I start, I would like to notify you that this meeting is getting recorded for data collection purposes. So, may I request you not to share any confidential information about your personal or professional life?
Yeah, will do. Thanks.
So, the purpose of this interview project is to gather data from professionals like yourself and then to analyze it with a view to publishing the results in the form of a book, which may be named as 10 Lessons from 100 Interviews.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So, regarding this meeting, it will be in interview format and will take approximately 20 to 25 minutes. I hope it's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah.
So I will share my screen as and when required, and please consider that the questions that are asked, they will be on behalf of my age group, which is around 11 to 13 years old.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you have any questions before we begin.
No, it's fine. Far away.
Cool. So here's the agenda for today. It is mainly spread into 3 sections. In the first section, there will be a set of questions, followed by a personality check in the middle, which is just a fun activity and something for you to take away.
Nice.
And lastly, some suggestion and advice questions from you. So I hope you're as excited as I am, so let's begin. So just to begin with, could you please briefly describe what your role is professionally?
Yeah, so I'm what's called a business intelligence analyst. Basically, we produce reports for the hospital to try and help them provide better patient care and work more efficiently and effectively. So when patient goes into hospital, lots of different things happen to them, lots of different patients, and hospitals need information that basically tell them, oh, bless you, that basically, they need information to help make that patient journey better. And so we get all when the patient goes into hospital, their information is put onto various IT systems, and we have access to the database tables behind that. We pull the data. We can say, for example, 100 patients visited A&E today, and we can split it by the age group. So that's essentially what I do.
Cool. So do you like your job? How do you feel about it?
No, I do like it. It's I like producing things. So we produce reports, and so we take raw data, which is just lots of numbers and letters and everything, and we have to produce something that answers questions that the hospital staff need answered. So doctors need to know how long it takes them to do their operations, or what clinics they've got empty. We need to know how many A&E patients we've seen within 4 hours every day. And when you look at the systems, it's all very complex, and our idea is to simplify that. And I enjoy that, and I like the fact that I work for the NHS, and you feel like you're contributing positively to society.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think that's a very good one. Thank you.
Thanks.
So now I'm very interested to know which hobbies we enjoy. Are there any in particular?
Well, like I said, I'm like making things. So I used to do web development. It's as a hobby, sort of build websites, which I've been doing for about 20 years. I like filmmaking, working with video editing, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I used to play squash a lot, so I enjoy that. But all the courts are closed now because of COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, hobbies generally. I mean, I love reading and writing as well. I sort of write stories and everything. So yeah, I think anything creative where you're producing something is what really I find exciting.
Definitely. Thank you. So now, moving on to the next question. Do you have a soft skill that you're very glad to have? It could be like communication, teamwork, negotiation, etc.
say probably communication and teamwork. Yeah, I think I've worked for over 20 years and I've got on well with everyone I've worked with, and so I think that's a really useful skill. I think it's important to consider your colleagues, sort of their feelings, and also different personalities in the workplace, and you've got to adjust how you act and interact with people according to that. Some people are more sensitive, some people are louder, quieter, and I'm quite good at picking that up. And yeah, I don't mind. Analysts don't really like communicating well with sort of number crunchers, sit behind a computer, but I don't mind, attending a meeting or speaking, that kind of stuff. So I think those skills definitely help.
True, because communication and teamwork, I think they are very helpful, especially like communication. Because let's say you have a team, you have very good teamwork, but you don't know how to communicate with them. There's no real point of having teamwork because for teamwork you need communication, and there are different parts in communication, like persuasion.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's key, and I think I always try and make sure that I've understood what's being communicated to me. So I try and kind of repeat it back or confirm things. I don't like to assume things. If somebody says I'm going to email or in a conversation, I might think, oh, they mean this. So I think the best way is to sort of double check what have they really meant and try and be as clear, open and honest as possible and professional.
Definitely. Thank you. So now, is there a skill that you really wished you had? Any in particular?
This probably sounds ironic, but I wish I was better with numbers. Obviously, I'm good at maths because I'm an analyst, but I'm actually better, I think, communicating with English. So I wish I was a bit quicker. Skills-wise, I really like programming, and I wish I've taught myself various forms of programming. But the skills, I would really like to be able to build sort of computer applications, not just for smartphones, but also, like
different
computer
things.
games. Yeah, I mean, I tried to learn how to build computer games, things like Java, C#, sort of really complex programming languages. Those are the kind of skills that I really wish. I think hard skills I had. Soft skills wise, negotiation. I think I need to get better at negotiation. Negotiation and persuasion. Yeah. But if I had to pick one, I'd say programming.
Oh, thank you. I think that's actually very good. So, programming, it's very good to know.
Yeah.
And it's also like Scratch, because Scratch is one thing that it's very like good, and it's nice. It's to do with coding.
No, I've used Scratch.
I kind of had like a class today to do with it, so I kind of know a bit. So, thank you. So now moving on from skills to advice questions, is there a piece of advice that you've been given and you are very glad to have followed it?
I think I've got loads of bits of advice. I think the main thing is from a lot of managers and probably my parents is if you make a mistake, just be honest and upfront and admit it rather than try and hide it. So say you saved the file in the wrong place, or you're updating a database table or something, and you did something wrong, and you think, oh no, I've done that wrong, this is bad. Rather than try and hide it, cover it up, or ignore it, I think the best thing to do is just, tell your boss, tell your manager, say, look, I'm really sorry, this happened, and then you try and work out a solution.
Yes. So you should always go like that, and you shouldn't hide anything. Because let's say you lie, and then you might, to cover that lie, you might have to lie again.
Yeah, completely. It just rollerballs. Yeah, so I think the best thing, I mean, different people, managers, parents, whatever, sometimes they're stressed, they'll get angry, sometimes they'll be fine. You never know. And, you get the butterflies in your stomach, but it's just best to be open and say, look, this is what happened. And in the end, at least you can say you were open and honest, and, you apologize and try and find a solution. I think, my father said, actually, one thing Peter writes is, all problems are there to be solved. So that kind of problem solver attitude, which all analysts and programmers need, I think I was taught. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. So now, is there a piece of advice that you've been given but you really wish to had followed?
That's interesting. Yeah, I think my dad again used to. I like eating a lot, and there's a little story when I was little, which is quite apt for people in the age group. I used to like eating McDonald's a lot, and we used to go and get a meal, and you could get one burger, chips, and a drink. And I remember one of my aunties once took us all to McDonald's, and she said, "You can have whatever you want." And I always wanted to eat more, a little bit. What's just greedy, or I wanted 2 burgers. And my dad said to me, don't be greedy, you'll suffer. And I said, please, please. And he's like, I don't think you should. And in the end, he's like, okay, you can have whatever you want, but don't come running to me. I think you're going to be sick. So I had the 2 burgers, and I was probably 11, 12, and I was sick afterwards, and I felt horrible. So he always said, do everything in moderation. So that's advice. Don't overdo
Moderate what you do.
things. Yeah, and I probably should have done that. And yeah, even now, I eat a little bit too much.
Thank you. So now, just before we move on to the second section, the personality check, could you please try to describe yourself with 3 words?
Ooh, methodical, loyal, and say conscientious. Yeah.
Okay. So could you please explain why you've used these words to describe yourself with?
I'll start back with conscientious. I think I really care about doing a good job, no matter what it is. If it's, I don't know, making dinner or cleaning the house or a project at work, or like I really want to do it well. And every job I've ever had, I want to do the job well. I don't want to sort of slack off or take advantage or waste time or play about. Like I go into work, whatever I do seriously. I go into work and say, right, I'm going to work. I'm at work. I'll work hard, and I care about the organization, my colleagues, helping them out. Like I said, if they make a mistake, be open, but try and fix it. And yeah, so I don't. Right, yeah, I'm very conscientious of everything I do. Loyal, yeah. I think once, if you're my friend or family or even at work, like I stick by people I care about and am with, and that's really important to sort of be on their side, especially if they've done something right and they're being accused of doing something wrong. I think loyalty is important. And what was the first one? Go backwards. What did I say? Methodical, yeah. Except while I'm an analyst, I like to plan things and I like to do things methodically in stages. So I don't really like chaos. So if I've got a project, I'll say, all right, I'll break it down into steps. A little like this interview, it gets broken down into 3 sections, and then you work through each bit one by one, rather than just wake up and say, right, I'll deal with things as and when without a plan. I like to be, I think I work well that way.
So like being organized, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. So thank you for your answers. We have now finished the first section of this interview, and we will move on to the second section, which is the personality check. And for that, my screen.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, I think the personality check is probably the most fun part in this whole interview.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So there aren't any right or wrong answers, and if you feel that there are any hard questions, feel free to skip them. So,
Okay.
can you please put the following 5 animals in the order of your preference?
Tiger first, and then probably a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd say sheep, then cow, then pig.
Thank you. So each one here means something. So it's the
Yeah.
priorities you have in your life, because you said tiger first, it means something. Then horse means something, so it's your priorities in your life, starting with the tiger. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the next slide to find out what each one means. Yeah. So this is what each one.
Oh,
So
interesting.
tiger first. Your first
Yeah.
priority is pride, then your family, then love, then your job, and then money.
That's really telling. Yeah, I'd say that's kind of right, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I was brought up. Yeah, like I said, the conscientious, be proud of the work you do. You know, look after yourself, the way you act, you dress, and yeah, take pride in who you are, how you are, and what you do. Family is definitely really important, far more than sort of money and other things. And yeah, I'd say that's right.
Thank you. So now we'll move on to the next one. So could you please share a word with me that you would use to describe each one of the following with?
Oh, so dog, I think loyal. Cat, mischievous. Rat. Oh, I don't know. I think dirty feels bad, but that's the first thing that comes into my head. C, open.
Thank you. Now each one that you've said, loyal, mischievous, dirty, and open for the 4
Oh,
decks or items here. Each one. So let's say dog is a personality, cat is
mm,
a personality, rat is a personality, and C is a personality. Yeah. So the
yeah,
word used to describe each one of them is how you describe the personality.
yeah,
Yes. So
yeah.
we'll move on to the next slide to find out what each one means. So you, the dog, are loyal, your partner's mischievous, your enemies are dirty, and your life is open.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I wouldn't say my partner's mischievous. I don't know. She is quite cat-like though. Like, yeah, so my wife was very quiet. You know, cats are quiet. I'm quite
Dirty.
loud. So like a dog. Yeah. And enemies, yeah, dirty is it can be interpreted lots of ways, like people doing things, sort of wrong things, you know, like they rather than in a proper way to do something or a moral way, you know, you choose an underhanded way. And yeah, I want an open life. I like an open life. Yeah. So I
Thank you.
think yeah.
So now we have finished the second section of this interview, and we'll move on to the third section. So if you noticed, I have stopped sharing.
Yep.
We'll move on to the third section, which is the suggestion and advice section. So from your personal experience, if you were to give a piece of advice to children, what advice do you think you should give to them that they should follow?
I think always have faith in yourself. That's the most important thing. Like always believe in yourself. Yeah, like that's the most important thing. You know, the one person you'll always have in your life is yourself, and you have to trust yourself. People make mistakes, or you know, that's part of learning. That's part of life. It's a journey. So whatever happens, always believe in yourself. You know, like I said, my dad. I mean, problems happen. That you can call them challenges. They're there to be overcome. I do believe everything can be overcome. It's not always easy. Sometimes
Yes.
you have to make choices, and they're not always good options. But you know, as long as you're hardworking, clean living, decent, honest, open person, try your best and just believe in yourself. You know, have faith
If
in
you have
yourself.
self-belief, then you can do anything.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's my biggest piece of advice.
Thank you. And now following on from that advice, but it's still based on advice given to children.
Yeah.
So Is there a piece of advice that you should give to children that they shouldn't do?
Um, Bar the obvious things like don't steal and commit crimes. I think don't lie and don't keep secrets. Like be open and honest. I said be open and honest with everyone. Children often aren't because they don't want to upset or anger their parents or their teachers or something. But I think it's best, like I said, believe in yourself and be open and honest. So don't keep secrets and don't lie. Just like admit your mistakes when you're wrong. Stand up for what you believe in, even if everyone else doesn't. Yeah, be open.
You might be correct.
Yeah, exactly. And even if not, then okay, change your mind later. I think it's important to be open-minded and adaptable. There are loads of things, but if it was one thing, be open, don't lie, or keep secrets. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
All right.
Thank you for all your answers. We have now completed the third section of this interview. But
Cool.
if you want, should I ask you some bonus questions as well?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So, have you done something before that had got you into trouble?
I've
So,
done something that's got me into trouble. I mean, although I was generally quite a good kid, and I didn't like getting told off. And I sort of brought up be good, do what you say. I remember that some of our teachers weren't great in school, and when you're sort of 15, 16, you try and everything when you're a teenager is about impressing your peers. So I think, I can't remember, it was a physics lesson, and I kept talking to someone next to me. I think the teacher was like, everybody stop talking and that. And I don't know why I kept talking. And in the end, he made me sit by the radiator, like this in the radiator. It was, so yeah, I was sort of misbehaving, which is really rare for me. And I think if someone good misbehaves, the teachers kind of react worse than someone who's always misbehaving. So yeah, I just wouldn't have done that, I think, basically. Yeah.
so now, can you please, if you don't mind, could you please tell me one thing that you did, but you didn't get into trouble for?
Oh, that I did and didn't get into trouble. What did I do? I didn't get into trouble. Oh, God, I think. I didn't.
Anything?
Oh, I'm trying to. I honestly, boringly, my dad was quite strong on discipline, and so there must have been things like in school. I did. I mean, what was this? Yeah, I think there were times. Yeah, the thing I remember, I still have dreams about this, is I didn't do my maths homework. I think I was in year, what was it, 8 or 9. And for whatever reason, I usually was really good. I hadn't done my maths homework. And the teacher knew would be angry. So I was looking in my bag and I basically said, oh, I haven't got my maths book. I forgot it at home, even though I did have it and I just hadn't done the homework. And he was a bit angry, but he said, oh, I don't worry. So I got away with it. And then I did the homework that night. But yeah, that was bad. I didn't feel good about it. And the fact that I can still remember it and have nightmares about it now shows I shouldn't have done it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's all right.
So, thank you for all your answers. We have now completed the bonus questions as
It's my
well.
pleasure.
So, just to conclude, could I please request you one thing that you have liked about this interview?
Yeah, no, I think I like helping other people, so it's nice to give advice to kids. I think I wish I'd been given more advice growing up. Yeah, and so I like that. I like the personality test too. That was interesting. Yeah, that's very revealing. Yeah.
Thank you. And just for the scope of improvement, if I had to change something, what do you think I should change?
Oh, that's hard. No, I think it was all done really well, like very professionally. I think I would have liked a bigger personality section. I liked that. That was fun. So maybe, yeah, a few more questions on the personality section.
Sure, I'll do that. Thank you. So thank you for all your time and questions today.
It's my
And
pleasure.
just for a token of appreciation, I would like to present you with this certificate for taking part in my interview.
Ah, that's brilliant. Always like a good
So I will email
certificate.
it to you. Otherwise, I really hope you enjoy the rest of it.
That's brilliant. Thank you.